Welcome back to the weekly news roundup and the Quicklines edition. Of course, your right to print will not be infringed. That's right. California is doing an extraordinarily dystopian 3D printing law. And this thing is so bad, and it's just in the legislative phases. It's not yet passed through any house or anything yet. This needs to be stopped. This is a horrible bill. It not only does it make requirements on the manufacturers of the printers themselves, it also puts limitations on the end user. So if you purchase a 3D printer, the law forbids you from using any software which can bypass a database of bad files or bad looks like files, which basically means that a database is going to be created and constantly updated, and the software for your 3D printer must constantly check against that database before anything is printed. And of course, once that is put in there, and they're going to start it with the scary ghost guns. They're going to start it with that nonsense. You know, it sounds like you're already infringing my right to bear arms. But outside of that, what if now the companies come in and say, hey, if I slip you $1 million for your next campaign funding, do you think you can add copyrighted materials to that too? Which is kind of funny because I have a friend of mine with a 3D printer and he plays Settlers of Catan. And they have spent the last few years developing the most amazing Settlers of Catan board that actually has, it is put together from pieces from Star Wars, Star Trek, Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, Stargate, all of the cool geeky things this channel would absolutely love. They spent the time, they printed these things out, they found models for everything, they printed them out, and then they hand painted them all, and it is the most amazing Settlers of Catan board you will ever see in your life. And of course, if that is all, if it checks for copyright stuff, I don't know, that thing looks like a Stargate. We can't print that. Oh, you're trying to print a Millennium Falcon? No, you're not. The mouse has a problem with that one, you know. And so once you start putting together the implications of this horrendous law, then we'll all see all sorts of weird potential circumstances. So it mandates sensor wear on all 3D printers, past, present, and future ones, which will bluntly block your speech as a user. Also criminalizes the use of open source alternatives. So if somebody comes out with an open source alternative and you flash that onto your 3D printer or onto the software controlling your 3D printer in the state of California, they are going to charge you criminally for that. What we'll do is hurt innovation in the state and risk a slew of new consumer law harms, ranging from surveillance to platform lock-in. California must stand with creators and reject the legislation before it's too late. 3D printing might evoke the images of props from blockbuster films, rapid prototyping, medical research, and even affordable parts, repair parts. Of course, we can't possibly do that. You have to send those parts into the manufacturer. Yet, for a growing number of legislators, the perceived threat of ghost guns is the reason to impose these restrictions. All right, so the bill is a gift for the biggest 3D manufacturers looking to adopt HP's approach to 2D printers, criminalizing, altering your printer's code, and locking you into their own ecosystem. That is what they are trying to do. What is in it? It criminalizes open source, reduces consumer choice, and creates a bureaucratic burden. It will make a misdemeanor for the owners of the devices to disable, deactivate, or otherwise circumvent the mandated algorithms. Manufacturers will lock users into first-party tools, parts, and consumables, like the resins and things that it uses. Manufacturers could force regular upgrade cycles through planned obsolescence by ceasing updates to printers' print blocking system, thereby taking the devices out of compliance and making them illegal for consumers to resell. The bill favors incumbent manufacturers over newer competitors and over interests of consumers, and retailers will feel the pinch, but The second-hand market will feel it most accurately. Resale is important property right for people to recoup costs and services as an important check on inflation of prices under the bill. Such resale risks misdemeanor penalties. It requires the department to establish a database of banned blueprints that must also be blocked by these algorithms. The database and printer list must be continually maintained as new printer models are released and workarounds are discovered, requiring effort from both the DOJ and the printer manufacturers. And the database is meant for firearm parts, but can easily be expanded to copyright or political speech items. Scans meant to be ethereal can be collected and surveilled. This is a horrible thing. And overall, it will definitely infringe your right to 3D print and definitely goes way beyond the scope of anything there. So if you are in California, you need to fight against this like yesterday. All right, and moving on to our Quicklines, Meta decides that they want to get even more dystopian here. They're going to use AI to analyze your height and bone structure to identify if users are underage. Coming from the platform where all the people didn't seem to have a problem with the AI talking romantically to your minor children. I just don't want the Meta's AI to be surveilling the height and bone structure of my children. Sounds a little bit creepy to me, but that's kind of what they're trying to do. They're going to start using AI to scan photos and videos for visual clues to see if a user is under 13 and should be removed from Facebook and Instagram. And of course, if they catch you, you will have to verify with your ID who you really are to stay on the platform. Otherwise, they delete your platform. That's nice. As AI looks in general themes, visual cues, for example, height and bone structure to estimate someone's general age, it does not identify the specific person. Oh, sure it doesn't. By combining these visual insights with our analysis of text and interactions, we can significantly increase the number of underage accounts we identify and remove. Ooh, okay. So they include using AI to analyze entire profiles for context clues such as birthday celebrations or mentions of school grades. Company looks for these signals across different formats such as posts, comments, bios, captions, and more. If it determines a person to be underage, it will deactivate their account. The user will need to prove their age using the company's age verification process in order to prevent their account from being deleted. Oh, isn't that fun? So there you go. Meta is analyzing the bone structure of your children. Blech. All right. Thousands of Facebook accounts stolen by phishing emails sent through Google. They were just trying to verify your age. Come on. But this is another case where a trusted Google service is used to send phishing codes to hijack Facebook accounts. So that's good. Attackers found a way to send phishing emails that come through Google, making them look legitimate at first glance. They're sent via Google's AppSheet platform, so they bypass the usual technical checks, and email filters treat them as trusted emails. But they're coming from Google asking about your Facebook account. So basically, they're going to be sending various forms of phishing accounts, but they land better in your inbox. So that's good. Vimeo had a data breach. Once again, third parties. This case here is not a huge issue. Mostly all they got was technical data and metadata on the video. So I mean, I don't want to see any breach, but as far as breaches go, this one's a no-brainer. The one thing it did get is 119,000 unique email addresses, occasionally accompanied by names. So if you're on Vimeo, you may have lost that information if you upload videos. Mostly this is just through an analytics platform, and information in the analytics platform may have leaked out. So no video content, login credentials, payment data were exposed, services were not disrupted. Vimeo disabled Anodot access, removed integrations, and engaged external security experts and notified law enforcement. So this had to do with the Anodot analytics platform that they had. So not a huge deal, but still something we do not want to see. Apple is now planning to create a Choose Your Own Adventure with iOS 27. Do you guys know Choose Your Own Adventures are coming back? Yeah, which is awesome. Maybe we can encourage kids to read if you're unfamiliar with that platform. I saw them. They're starting to make a comeback. You can find them in gaming stores. We can find your copy of Settlers of Catan. Ask if they have Choose Your Own Adventures. So these, if you were unfamiliar, like they were from our childhood. Come on. We loved them, right? You get the book and then you read a page and then you have to make a decision and then you go to one of the other pages listed. And so it's really good because you could read the same book a dozen times and have a different read every single time. So it was kind of cool in that respect. And so, this case here, it's choose your own misadventure because you're basically choosing which AI you would like to have overlord access to everything on your device. No word if we can choose nothing or if it will nag you if you do not choose something. I don't know about any of those, but we are actually getting the option. So it looks like what Apple is doing here is, since they really haven't been successful with their own AI, is they're basically going to be working affiliate deals, kind of like search engines do with browsers, right? And when you set up your device, you will have the option to choose which AI you want to work with, presumably give some access of codes, and then apparently Apple will probably be gaining some revenue or having a revenue share with that particular AI company. That's probably what's going to be out, although the details are not particularly well known yet. But effectively, it means that you could set up your Apple device to use any number of LLMs. Now, if you could use your own local LLM, that would be kind of cool. Of course, you'd have to have a local LLM, like you'd have to have an LLM that would be accessible via the internet or having an always-on VPN to your own office in order to do that. And I don't see Apple integrating something like that, but you never know. They might surprise us. But it is basically their way to get in a cut of the AI while not choosing complete sides as to which one they are working with. Google Chrome is silently installing 4 gigabytes of AI onto your device without your knowledge or consent. In fact, if you delete said file, it will simply lean you over the desk and put it in again. All right. And so that really is what Google Chrome is up to. Now, some ordinary gamers looked at this and he said he did not see this happen on his Linux machine. We yay for Linux. But it did happen on his Mac machine. And who knows? Maybe it didn't happen on the Linux machine because it didn't get rolled out there yet. Who knows? But basically, this is a 4 gigabyte AI model that's being downloaded onto everybody's device with Chrome. And it will show up under the opt guide on device model. And it will be a 4 gigabyte file called weights.bin. So it happens automatically when Chrome determines your device meets the hardware requirements. It does not ask for consent and sends no notification. So if you are on a limited internet connection, it might just kill your internet connection. I only have 5 gigabytes. Sorry, we're putting 4 of it right here. Thank you for your internet. All right. So if you discover the file and delete it, Chrome simply downloads it again. There is actually a way to go into the developer tools to stop it from doing that. You can, again, consult that Some Ordinary Gamer's video. He did a good breakdown of it, and I'm not going to repeat it all here. Just go check that out if you do have a need to use Chrome and don't want that AI nonsense on your computer. What's curious about it is that this is supposed to be something that would allow you to use, like if you go in and to the scanning methods, the default there just uses basic, hey, this doesn't look like blah, 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 .xyz website, so you probably shouldn't go there. The highest tier, which is not disabled by default, utilizes AI to analyze if the sites you're going to are a threat or not. It doesn't even, that thing still uses Google's online AI, not the local one it just downloaded. So what's the local one doing? We don't really know yet. It's just downloading and hanging out. And, maybe doing crazy things. I mean, it's just the seed of Skynet. Just don't worry about it. It's just 4 gigabytes. It's the seed of Skynet. Just fear not. It's just doing its own little thing in the corner. You might, in the words of Michael on E.T., I just don't want to wake up, on Mars or something surrounded by thousands of little squishy guys. 4 gigabytes is fine. Just give up the 4 gigabytes because you're not getting it back. It's just going to keep re-downloading. Of course, you can just do this amazing thing, delete Google Chrome and download a better browser. And there's tons to choose from. So, they mentioned, of course, rural users with bandwidth caps. Of course, I have 150 gig. No, I think I'm up to 300 now. I did have 150 on the old internet. I have 300 gigabytes now. Of course, on Starlink, we have 100. We only had 50 before. They gave us 100 now. So that's good. Distribution, this is funny. Of course, Google, save the planet. I'm sorry, I don't have that high-pitched voice right now in my voice. Save the planet. There it is. The distribution load would consume 240 gigawatt hours of energy and generate 60,000 tons equivalent of CO2. And that is not actually using the model. That's just downloading the stupid thing. Thank you for that calculation, Malwarebytes. That's useful information to throw it in their face of them. And so, yeah, it will keep coming back. You know, it's like Candy Crush. It just takes a lot more space. Delete Candy Crush. I don't want this crap. No, too bad. Pennsylvania is now jumping on to sue Character.AI. This is actually the first time that an AI model is being sued for pretending to be a doctor. That was significant here. So basically, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania filed a lawsuit against Character.AI, claiming that one of the company's chatbots masqueraded as a psychiatrist in violation of the state's medical licensing rules. Wonderful. So Pennsylvanians deserve to know who or what they're interacting with when it comes to their health. We will not allow companies to deploy AI tools that mislead people into believing they are receiving advice from a licensed medical professional. So according to state filing, Character.AI chatbot called Emily presented itself as a licensed psychiatrist during testing by a state professional conduct investigator, maintaining the pretense that even as the investigator sought treatment for depression. All right, so the AI also fabricated a serial number for her state medical license. And of course, the representative for Character.AI says, user safety is the highest of company profiles. I just think PR people should be fired. We don't believe anything you're saying anyway. Y'all lie more than politicians. I mean, you can tell they're lying if their lips are moving. You know what I mean? I mean, user safety is our highest priority. Our AI will just pretend to be a psychiatrist and make up a number. Okay. So beyond that, they say, we've taken robust steps to make it clear, including our prominent disclaimers that every chat to remind users a character is not a real person and that everything character says should be treated as fiction. I don't know if you're going to get away with that disclaimer. I mean, you can come into my office. I'll tell you, hey, I'm not really licensed, but I'll tell you I'm licensed. I can treat your depression right now, you know. Yeah, but I'm going to try and treat your depression. But the AI will, and unfortunately it's sycophantic, so it's probably going to tell you everything you want to hear, which might mean it goads you into doing something that's really, really bad. So good for Pennsylvania on this one, I guess. And our last one under Quicklines, the RAM shortages. Actually, this is SSD and hard drive shortages. These are actually, they have contracts going out 5 years, which sounds really bad, but there's a little bit of good news in this, in that many of these companies have deals already set for 5 years, which means they are more comfortable in investing in the infrastructure to ramp up development. So we don't know exactly what this is going to mean. Now, by having contracts with big dealers, is this just data centers? Is this just big tech companies? Or does this also include big retailers? You know, individually, you can think Walmart and Best Buy, which you can still buy hard drives and things from. They may not be the best, but, you know, frankly, I've bought a lot of my hard drives from Walmart. I've not had a problem with them. I mean, they're all Western Digitals. Don't think I've had any of the SSDs fail. I think I've had one mechanical hard drive fail early. That was actually early on in the van, and basically I think the rattling in the van is what killed that. So I basically switched everything in the van to SSDs because of that, and since I've done that, I have not lost any. In fact, I have, in all of my time with SSDs, I've only ever lost, I think, 1 or 2 SSDs. So We don't know, is this Walmart buying them up? Is this some other retail distributor buying them up so they have stock? Or is this all data centers? That is a piece of information I would kind of like to know, but that is important information as we examine everything going on. So there's always that. But the 5-year contracts will actually be very beneficial for showing people that they can invest in the new factories, because they can't just like, hey, we're going to start a new factory next week. No, it takes a few years to get a new factory going, and with contracts going out 5 years, they will have the resources to do that. So that's actually potentially a good thing. And now we're going to transition on over to Sillyville. And we are going to start. Actually, I'm gonna move to this one first. I'm gonna give myself out of order here. I apologize. We have a couple of weird political things here, but they bear saying. Of course, being as that May the 4th was this week. May the 4th not be with these two weirdos. But this is, of course, Barack Obama and Mark Hamill, and they are talking on the May the 4th day about the Obama's presidential library, which actually looks like something out of Star Wars. And this video here, this might get me copyright claim because it plays the light Star Wars theme back behind it all. And it's also extraordinarily cringeworthy. I will let you find the links in the description down below and go and watch these videos if you would like to see this cringe. But it's basically Barack Obama and Mark Hamill having this conversation about, it's all about the hope and all this, blah, 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 and all this. And it's an extraordinarily, I haven't seen a discussion this cringy in a long time. And all this is over this new library, which looks like a Death Star. Are they planning to blow up something in Washington, D.C.? I don't know. It's kind of creepy. All right. So, and here's the look like the Galactic Empire himself, right? Of course, it's a whole center and whole campus, all that kind of stuff. So that's what Obama's been up to. They're calling it the most Reddit video ever. There you go. This now finally makes sense. Got it. Okay. Ted Cruz locating the Death Star in Chicago was a bold move. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. And a word to Emperor Obama and his new apprentice. Don't be too proud of this technological terror you have constructed. All right. Can't breathe in this thing. All right. Well, if that wasn't enough for you, now the Secretary of War has to dismiss rumors that Iran is going to deploy kamikaze dolphins. And if it takes kamikaze dolphins to get the gas prices lower, I'm okay with it, okay? These gas prices are killing the van life for here. All right. I'm paying more for gas now in Pennsylvania than I paid in California. If it takes kamikaze dolphins to open up the strait and to lower the gas prices, I want kamikaze dolphins. But he does actually say here that he does not know anything about kamikaze dolphins.
Are there still concerns about mines in the strait? And can you kind of clarify these reports of kamikaze dolphins that we've heard about?
I haven't heard the kamikaze dolphin thing. It's like sharks with laser beams, right? The threshold of...
Yeah, so he hasn't heard about the kamikaze dolphins, which if he's hiding information about the kamikaze dolphins, I gotta say they must be true. The rumors are true, folks. So there you go. There's the sharks with lasers. There you go. I guess that's from Austin Powers. I can't stand that movie. Here you go. Here's more proof of kamikaze dolphins right here. We got it. Yeah, and this guy here, this one here, he's a sniper. He's just going to take this dude out, right? U.S. Navy from the Persian Gulf. There you go. Isn't that great? And Marco Rubio is ready to serve in his next position. All right. So there you go. All right. Well, Transitioning over to age verification, it turns out that if you put on one of those silly mustaches, maybe with the glasses, the nose, and the silly mustache, your kids can actually bypass the age verification checks. Oh, dear. So, yeah, kids are bypassing age verification with a fake mustache. They also found that a couple of other video games were allowing you to do it. Pointing their webcam at adult-looking characters in video games also tends to work. I was trying to find pictures of kids in the funny mustaches, but I was not actually able to find the photos. So there's always that. Now, this last one here, this was actually last week, and I missed it. I didn't see this until after we did the news on Friday last week. But your secret is in the sauce. Prego, yes, the spaghetti pasta company. Prego is now selling a $20 recording device complete with family prompting cards so that you can put the device on your kitchen table and use the prompt cards and have a conversation with your family so they can record your conversation, send it up to the cloud, and archive family conversations. I don't know what to say. I have not bought Prego pasta sauce that I'm aware of. And I think pushing something like this out, I am not inclined to buy Prego anytime soon. You want to record the phone conversations for archival purposes so that people of the future can hear what people talked about through artificial conversations generated on prompting cards. Yeah. Yeah, the Connection Keeper is a limited edition device made in partnership with StoryCorps. Nonprofit aims to record the conversations of everyday Americans. Seen inspired by Prego's pasta sauce lids, the puck-like recording device sits at the center of the table to record your conversations. It can also chime in with prompts to spark real dinner time conversations. Yeah, okay. You need to press a button on the top of the puck to record a conversation. There's no screen, no connectivity outside a USB port for charging or moving the conversations to a StoryCorps portal. It records in 16 gigabyte micro SD card, allowing for up to 8 hours of conversations. They say the portal is encrypted and offers full privacy controls, but there's currently no comprehensive rundown of how it'll work. Recordings will be accessible and shareable starting on May 4th. And may the 4th be with you. All right. They will keep them private by default. You can upload them to the nonprofit's public archive. If you do this, be aware anyone online can access your family's conversations. What? What? I'm paused it out. It's cloudy with a chance of meatballs, folks. Cloudy with a chance of meatballs. If you want to help support this nonsense, have a look over at switchedtolinux.com/support. Not the Prego crap. The guy talking about the Prego crap, all right? So if you want to help support the channel, switchedtolinux.com/support. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts about all these in the comments down below.